Euro dollar. So the euro remains pressured to the downside following this latest sharp decline and break below key medium-term support at 110.87. At this point, the breakdown now exposes fresh downside over the coming sessions back towards the July base at 108.09. Look for any rallies from here to be classified as corrective, with rallies towards the 113 area seen very well capped. Sterling dollar. So cable is stalled out at just above 155, and the market looks to be putting in a fresh lower top in that area ahead of what should be the next downside extension back towards and eventually below recent lows at 51.07. A break below 51.07 would of course expose psychological barriers at 150 further down, and in the interim any rally should be very well capped ahead of the 155 area. Really only back above 156.59 would compromise the bearish outlook for cable. Dollar yen. So dollar yen has seen some impressive gains in recent trade, although the rally is stalled ahead of some critical resistance at 121.74 in the form of that August recovery high that we saw back on the 28th of August. At this point, while the market holds below that 21.74 high, the structure does favor additional downside, with the market seen back towards that 116.12 August base. At this point, only a close above 121.74 would compromise the outlook and put the pressure back on the top side. Euro Swiss. So Euro Swiss continues to be very well supported on any form of a setback, with the market largely supported above 107 now in favor of what should be the next upside extension back above recent highs that we saw going back to that September peak at 1050 and towards a measured move at 112 further up. Ultimately, only a close below that low that we saw at 107.14 going back to the 19th of August would compromise the recovery outlook for Euro Swiss. Aussie dollar. So Aussie dollar has seen a nice correction in recent days, with the market trading all the way back up towards the 74 area, although overall the downtrend remains firmly intact here, and the market should be putting in a lower top ahead of a bearish resumption back towards those recent multi-year lows in the 69 area. At this point, only a close back above 74.40 would really compromise the immediate bearish outlook. Dollar CAD. So dollar CAD looks to be back on pace for a resumption of the broader uptrend in this market, with the market recently stalling out into that decent correction in the 128 area, which acts as some formidable resistance, now turned support. And the market looks to be on pace for a retest of the recent 11-year high at 134.57, above which exposes potentially the 140 area all the way up. At this point, only a break and close back below the 128 area would compromise the constructive outlook for dollar CAD. Kiwi dollar. So Kiwi has seen a very nice rally off those recent multi-year lows, with the market trading all the way up into the 69 area ahead of the latest minor setbacks. But ultimately, with this downtrend still firmly intact, the market could be poised for a lower top ahead of a bearish resumption back down towards those recent multi-year lows down towards the 60 area. At this point, only a close back above 70 would really compromise that bearish outlook. SPX 500. So the S&P 500 has put in a very impressive recovery rally off those August lows around 1833, with the market trading all the way back up to the 2080 area. However, there's a key 78.6 fib retracement that comes in around 2072, and the market hasn't been able to establish a close above this level, which does suggest the last possible spot for a medium-term lower top and bearish resumption. At this point, though, we need to see a break all the way back down below recent lows in the 2015 area to really put the pressure back on the downside. Gold. So the gold recovery outlook remains firmly intact following that break several days back above critical resistance at 1170, which set up a medium-term higher low at 1100. At this point, any setbacks from here should be very well supported into the 1135 area in favor of the next major upside extension towards 1233 further up.